If you're looking for a podcast that packs in sound property advice, as well as offering you an insight into making the world of property effective and ultimately work for you, you're in the right place. Hosted by Arsh Ellahi, the original property rebel. He's written an Amazon bestseller, created the Property Investor app, the UK's first, and is an experienced property mentor. More importantly, he talks the talk and walks the walk.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Property Rebel with your host Arsh Ellahi. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the last 2 months of 2025 and what that kind of brings for us all. Now, before we do that, I want to remind you that this podcast is sponsored by the Property Investor app, which is the UK's first property investment platform, which showcases all kinds of deals all over the UK. Whether it's a below market value deal that you're after, a rent-to-rent deal, a lease option deal, we've got them all there. And there are 3 ways to get involved. You can either go to the website, which is www.propertyinvestораpp.co.uk, or if you've got a smartphone, go to the App Store, type in Property Investor and download it from there. Or if you have WhatsApp and you use WhatsApp daily, go and look in the community section and join the Property Investor app WhatsApp channel. All 3 options are completely free for you to join, and there's no reason for you not to see the deals that the Property Investor app is producing. Now, let's get straight into it. First week of November 2025, and I kind of sit here and I kind of reflect. For those that have followed my journey, you'll see that November 2025 is a significant month for me. It's not a plug, but maybe it is a plug. But 17 years ago, 2008, I got put together a very difficult ultimatum that I had to either declare myself bankrupt and go bust, or I had to go and fight and tell the tale. But that fight had to last 17 years. And I sit here today on the first Monday of November 2025, and it's actually quite emotional because I'm 8 days away from completing the fight. The fight's over. 8 days away from the fight. So when I record another episode next week, it's going to be an emotional one. I don't mind saying it's going to be an emotional one. 17 years ago, I had to figure out whether I wanted to lose everything that we'd worked for, or whether I would then have to become a slave to the bank for the next 17 years. And I became the slave. I don't mind saying that. And if you've never kind of heard my journey, feel free to go and check out my book, which is Boom, Bust and Back Again, which is on Amazon. Not a plug, but it is a plug. Or go and check out my YouTube channel under the handle of Arsh Ellahi. I've done lots of videos detailing what happened 17 years ago about how I nearly went bust and how the bank sat me down and said, well, we can repossess or we can restructure. I decided to restructure. There were pros and cons for both, all which I've kind of detailed out in the YouTube video. But the 11th of November is literally just around the corner. 11th of November 2025 is literally just around the corner. We're a week away. And honestly, I don't know how to feel. Don't know how to feel, because I'm quite glad and quite proud that I've ran the race for 17 years on a treadmill that has been running at the fastest possible speed. So it's almost been like a marathon sprint. But equally, I'm also quite sad because it's almost kind of felt like I've lost purpose. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is because some of you guys will definitely resonate with this, is that sometimes you may feel like you've lost purpose. Sometimes you may feel like you've lost your where you're going with property and what you're doing with property. And what I want this message to be is that you've got 2 months remaining of 2025. Use these 2 months and ask yourself as to how 2025 has been for you. Has it been a productive year? Has it been a non-productive year? Has it been a challenging year? Has it been a year of learning? I've got to say that I generally say this, is that since lockdown, property has been difficult. Property has been very difficult. We've come across so many obstacles in the real estate industry. I'm talking about the UK market here. Obviously, you look at other parts of the world like Dubai, etc., and they're thriving. But the UK real estate market and the UK government in general has made it extremely difficult to transact and actually operate a business within the UK. So you've got to think about, what have you achieved? What have you done? And also ask yourself, what are the things that you did not do and why did you not do them? And I'm going through this reflection stage right now. Actually, I've got a meeting today where I'm actually going to perhaps pull the plug on a project that I've been working on for the last almost like 2 years, purely because I don't know whether I've still got the fight for it or whether this month is a significant month for me to pull the plug on it. Don't worry, it's not the property investor app. The property investor app is not going anywhere. In actual fact, it's stronger than ever. Other businesses that I started to get involved in, and they're taking a long time to get off the ground. But I'm just thinking, well, do I really need that fight? Do I really need that headache, or do I really need that challenge right now? Part of me thinks, Arsh, just relax. You've run that race for 17 years. Take some time out for yourself. Doesn't mean that just because the 11th of November 2025 arrives and I kind of down tools. That originally was the plan, but I've got other projects currently going on. So I'm currently in the process of building out the 24 apartments in Wolverhampton, along with 5 commercials and also a hotel. So I've got those projects going on. I'm also doing a lot of consulting work. For those that know, I have a program called the 1 Hour Property Coach, where you can book a 1 hour call with me. Believe it or not, that's been really successful. For those that wanted to book a 1 hour call, you may be stuck or you may not know where to turn. And the 1 Hour Coach is exactly the perfect solution for that. So you may not want to go on an expensive mentorship or anything like that, but you want someone to pick up the phone to. Is perhaps being where you are right now and you kind of just need a direct answer. You need to pick up the phone and say, here's my problem. What's the solution? And that's what the 1 Hour Property Coach is all about. So going back to the point, you've got 2 months. You can either use this as a kick up the backside and say, guys, okay, you've got 2 months to kind of figure out what went well and what you need to do to progress further for the next 2 months and also into 2026. Or you can use this time to think, well, in actual fact, it didn't exactly go according to plan, but here's the things that I can do and change differently for 2026. Because remember, everything that you do is a lesson. You'll learn a lot along the way. You'll meet people that you kind of start work with, and then you'll realize that they're not the people that you really want to work with. You'll do projects and you think, maybe I didn't really want to do those because I did them because I thought it might be a good project. You'll find properties and you might think, oh, this is a good property, but when you've appraised it, it's not so good. And again, there's so many things. Going back on this year, we started applying for funding for the development deal, and believe it or not, we had 3 lenders drop out. So they agreed, and then just as about to start legals, they changed the terms and everything started to fall through. So part of it was my fault. I don't mind saying that, just purely because I kind of got cold feet and I kind of thought that they weren't the right lender for me. Their fees were too high, or some of the things that they were putting in their indicative terms, they couldn't explain to me clearly what their fees were. And off the back of that, I didn't get a good feel for them as a development lender. And then finally, I've got a very good broker who found another person to come to the table, and they've managed to pull off everything, and we're now moving forward. So that's all moving ahead, but that was all part of the journey. And I thought that was also almost like a show of the times and a tell of the times to see that, lenders are out there. We've got a difficult time coming up. So we've got the budget coming up, or we've got to figure out what they're going to be saying in this new budget. The talks about a decrease in Bank of England base rate again. So before we went from 0 to -0 to all the way back up there. Now it kind of seems like we're going back down. So is that a show of the times that in actual fact they're trying to do something to prop the real estate market back up in the UK? That could only be a good sign, because naturally, if interest rates are coming down or lending is coming down, people will get more confidence and come back into the market. Still a lot of stock for sale. So again, it's a buyer's market. So, if you're buying, now's the right time. Believe it or not, go and negotiate hard. So I feel like I've kind of ranted or kind of just done a mind dump of everything I thought about as to what 2025 has represented. So feel free to reach out, come to me and say, Arsh, I completely agree or I disagree. Reach out, send me an email, arsh@arshellahi.com. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know what challenges you're facing, or alternatively, book a 1 Hour Property Coach call. As I said, guys, I'm over the last couple of episodes, I've become a lot more social on TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Go and check me out under the handle of Arsh Ellahi. And I'm also uploading a lot more videos on my YouTube channel. Go and check it out under the handle of Arsh Ellahi. And just as a reminder, as I said at the start, this podcast is sponsored by the Property Investor app. Go and check it out. You got obviously 3 ways to do it. You've got the website, which is propertyinvestораpp.co.uk. You've got the mobile app, which you can find on your app store on your smartphone by searching Property Investor. And finally, we've got the WhatsApp community channel under the handle of Arsh Ellahi. Really hope that you've enjoyed it. Looking forward to next week's episode, where I'll share the journey of 17 years. It's going to be a longer podcast. It's going to be a bit of a story. It's going to be a journey. I really hope that you kind of enjoy that as well. And I look forward to speaking to you all soon. Take care and ciao for now.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of The Property Rebel. Want to keep learning? Check out the other episodes on YouTube and dive deeper into the world of property investing with Arsh Ellahi.